Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. It's back to the Carabao Cup again. And tell you what, Palace will definitely be looking to get a win now to make up for the last 2 games that they played in the Premier League. But let's look at the fixtures that they've played in December 1st. They beat Burnley 1-0 away. They beat Fulham 2-1 away. They lost to Man City 3-0 at home. And then they lost to Leeds United 4-1 at home. Away, sorry. Not at home. And look, losing by that kind of margin stings a lot of people. It's going to sting the club. It's going to sting the fans. It's going to sting the players. And that's why I say that they're going to want to make up for it against us tomorrow. Now, as for us, we've got a bit of an interesting situation with ourselves, because there's a lot of rotation, I imagine, would happen, actually. And this is why our squad depth is so good. But look, this is one of those games where I want to win it, don't get me wrong. But if we don't win it, if we don't win the Carabao Cup, I'm not going to be heartbroken, but I might be a bit disappointed. If we can take it to the semi-finals, I'll understand why. But we need to get past this this group first. Get past the quarterfinals into the semis. And if we do get into the semi-finals, we have to play Chelsea. Thankfully, we have to play Chelsea at home on the second leg, which means we have a bit of an advantage in that sense. But overall, we need to get there first. And that's why I say we have to focus on that, one game at a time. And look, it's the last game before Christmas, the 23rd of December. And I'm hopeful that we can go into Christmas having beaten Everton 1-0 and having beaten, hopefully, Crystal Palace. If we can do that, it's Merry Christmas for all the Gooners. But at the same time, we still have some difficult fixtures coming up. Let me bring them up now. Matches. We still have Brighton at home, which last season you saw what happened. And then we've got Aston Villa at home, and you've seen what happened when we played them away this season, earlier this month. And it would be nice just to get Aston Villa out the way. They've always been such a bogey team for us. I absolutely hate playing Aston Villa. And look, if we can come out of that game with a win, I'd say we've set ourselves up in a decent position at least. I wouldn't say that we're 100% favourites, depending on what happens with Man City. But we would have set ourselves up in a decent position to at least go the full way now. Especially with a team like Aston Villa now out of the way entirely. But with us, I'm thinking about who we should start, because there's a bit of debate for me. Well, I mean, there's a few people we could start up front, but I think we're quite limited on the options in our defence. Our defence has had those injuries with Ben White and Christian Mosquera. We don't really have a lot of options with that. And I'm worried about Hincapié as well, if I'm honest. Hincapié, I am worried about the amount of time he's playing. I think he does genuinely need a rest as well. I'm really not sure. Well, we'll start off in goal. We'll say Kepa. I think Kepa needs his moment to shine now, and Raya, I understand Raya's been getting priority, but Kepa, it's time to let Kepa have some minutes. Now, in the right back, I'm going to go with Jurrien Timber. And I don't think anyone's going to argue with me on that. I think that's really the only choice that we can make here. And the centre-back pairing, I'm thinking about this one. Well, obviously, Saliba has to go there. I don't think anyone else can play for Saliba. And I said Hincapié needs to take a break, and I stand by that. But I would probably put Calafiori there, if I'm honest. I would put Calafiori there, because he was given that suspension against Wolves. He's had that bit more of a break than Hincapié. I would play Calafiori. And on the left back, I would go with Lewis Skelly. And I think if you put Calafiori in the centre back, doesn't really give you a lot of options either. But Lewis Skelly, we know how good of a player he is. We just need to hope that he plays correctly. Now in the midfield, I'm worried about taking too much out of the midfield. I might have that whole midfield replaced. Well, in the central defensive mid area, I'm gonna say probably Norgard. I think Norgard's got the capacity to play in that area. On the rest of the midfield, it's a bit difficult for me, but I will play Eze. I absolutely will play Eze. And again, Odegaard's he's been playing for a lot now. He needs a rest, and I wonder if that rest will do him any good, especially with what's going on with Gyökeres, and that's a story for another time. And I'm thinking with Rice, I don't really want to play Rice because he's just been playing too much. He needs a rest as well. I'm willing to make the sacrifice, and I'm willing to put Rice on the bench and play Mikel Merino. I know it's a bit of a difficult one, but Mikel Merino is still a great player. I'm still not sure how much we're going to miss Rice in this, but hopefully not too much. Now, the attack's going to be a bit of an interesting one because I'm not sure who I would start in any of these areas. I would probably put, I think, well, first of all, Gabriel Jesus, 110%. He loves a game against Crystal Palace. Last season, Crystal Palace in Carabao Cup, he scored a hat-trick. Then the game after that, he gets additional 2 goals against Crystal Palace. And hopefully he can perform a little bit of that magic. But, you know, Gabriel Jesus, I would definitely play him. I think Gyökeres could use a bit of a rest as well. And we don't want to risk Gyökeres right now. On the left wing, I would put Gabriel Martinelli. I think, if anything, the pace might be what we're hoping for. I do hope, actually, that they don't just put a low block against us. But, as I say, I think Crystal Palace will come to try and win this game, just so that sting of the 4-1 loss against Leeds doesn't hurt as badly. So, here's hoping. And on the right wing, I'm going to go with... I nearly said Bukayo Saka, whoops. I'm going to go with Madueke. I think Madueke... It's a bit harsh for him, really, what's gone on. He put an absolute class performance against Club Brugge, but he can't get game time since. But, I mean, look, at the end of the day, he played class, and I understand that, you know, we don't need, we didn't have the luxury of taking any risks in the previous games, but Madueke needs more minutes, and I'm going to say that comfortably. This kind of game here is a perfect opportunity to give Bukayo Saka a rest, which we couldn't do last season, put on Madueke. Hopefully Madueke can perform a bit of magic and maybe get us a goal, maybe get us an assist. I'll take either or as long as we get the win. And hopefully, yeah, as I said, we could get through with a win and move into the semi-finals. But after the semi-finals, that's when we get a lot more serious about it, when we play a lot more of our first squad. And hopefully by then, we won't have any additional injuries. These injuries have cost us dearly, but at the same time, we're getting a lot of injuries back now. Hopefully Ben White and Gabriel Magalhaes is back soon. And yeah, that's all I've really got to say. But that's my match preview for Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Let me know what you think down below. Like, share, and comment, and please do subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And I will see you for the match review for Arsenal versus Crystal Palace. Goodbye for now.